Good morning. Good morning. Oh my goodness. Good morning. This is the weekend before Thanksgiving. Are you all ready? Are you all ready? I'm not cooking this year. No. Been invited to the stepdaughters. Obviously, husband's daughter. Um, so yeah, I don't have to cook this year. Yay. Though I might do a pie, you know. All right. Well, good morning. Good morning. Oh look, Diane. And where'd she go? Diane and Gail and Cindy. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. So, while we're waiting for others to come in, and that's, I don't mind. You guys come in whenever. Um, oh, Jessie. Hi, Jessie. I want to give kudos to Cindy King. She is a regular viewer of Coffee and Conversation. She did a couple of little short uh, video bits about some products that she found a uh, at a embroidery event. A Oh my God! Sometimes I just lose my words. She was at a trade show. Yay! Anyway, so she found some products that she really wanted to take home. She brought home some samples and she tested them out. And I was very intrigued by these. And I thought, let's do something a little more in depth. So Cindy was gracious enough to send me some samples of the pieces that she got at this trade show. Good morning, Barb. So good to see you. And Impressions Dallas. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you very much. Um, I want to start with the foam. She she sent me this big old piece of foam. Look at how stiff that is. Very dense, 3 millimeter. It comes from SPSI. Let me see if I can figure out what that means. SPSI is, I don't know what it means. SPSI.com. All right. And of course, anytime that I'm talking about a product on Coffee and Conversation, I list it in the in the description area under the YouTube. So yeah, this stuff is really thick. Not thick, dense. 3 millimeters thick. This is Ganold. It's also their dense uh, 3D foam. This is also is that you, Doug? Good morning. This is also 3 millimeters. All right. So what did I do to test this? I stitched a hat. Yay. Yay. These are the same exact letter B's. All right. And this is, hey, Jessica. What am I making? I'm testing product today. First thing we're going to test, we're going to look at a 3D foam from SPSI compared to 3D foam from Ganold. These are both dense foams. They're both 3 millimeter. I'm using the same letter B. Oh, that's interesting. Cindy, where'd it go? If anybody has met Liz Beavers, originally from GSG, she is now with SPSI. So if you need any help, and she's a wonderful person. All right, let me go back here. So as I was saying, um, obviously the same hat, Same letters. I use the same stabilizer, same hooping. The only thing different between these two pieces is the foam. One foam is gunneled, the other foam is SPSI. Now I already pulled the middles out, but I have not pulled um, the base of the foam. So we're going to do that now. And there is something really, really interesting I want you to see here. Now this stuff is a little stiffer, but it tears away really clean. Really clean. Now, of course, the gunnel tears away really clean too. But here's what I want you to see. This is the gunneled. Can you see how those edges are a little rounded? That's because the stitches pull on those edges and round them up, just like a shoelace when you're tying a shoe. I did do a price comparison, Cindy. Look at this. Look at this. They are sharp. Look at those edges. They are sharp. Stands up so tall. Looks really good. Now, yes, Doug's going to say, but it only comes in black and white. Well, you know, for years and years, they all only came in black and white. It does look nice, Jessie. So what do? You use black for the darker colors. You use white for lighter colors. Looks great. All right, so here's the big thing. How much is it going to cost? Gunneled for a 12 by 18 sheet is $5.10. Oh, it does come in gray. Thank you. Gray. Gray is a neutral. You can use gray for lights and darks. Just saying. So what I did, each one is a 12-inch wide piece. The only difference is the length. One is 16. The SPSI is 16. The gunnel comes in an 18-inch length. So for a 12 by 18-inch piece of gunnel, it's $5.10. Works out to be about 28 cents an inch. The SPSI, can you see this? Comes in a 16 by 12. I'm going the wrong direction. Is $3.05 for a sheet, which works out to 19 cents per inch. 19 cents. So not only is it cost effective, but it gave such amazing, sharp results. We got a little curve here at the edges on our dense foam from gunneled, but we have nice sharp edges with the SPSI. Nice, right? Very nice. Cost effective. They have other supplies too, so don't be afraid to order. And it feels so firm. You know what it feels like? It feels like those hats that you buy retail that have foam. The athletic hats, the athletic merchandise. It feels like that. It stitches nice. I use a .16 density. There is no bits sticking out anywhere. Nice. Now, granted, there's no bits sticking out on the other bee either, but nice. No, Cindy wants to know. Yes, I'm going to jump back, Cindy. Hold on a second. Gail says that you still might want both, and you do. Different product for different looks. Maybe you want that rounded look on the edges. Maybe you want a softer approach. Um, somebody comes along and they have a logo that has a wave on it. You're going to want a softer approach. But if you're looking for good firm edges, this stuff has got it going. So, Cindy, actually, I did not change the settings for either one of these. This letter B is a bee puff that I created for a customer, for a client. Oh gosh, it's been years, but I knew it obviously used the settings that I'm familiar with. There's no underlay here because you don't want the underlay. There are some travel stitches. Um, Uses a dot 16 uh, density, 40 weight thread, 7511 needle. So yeah, nothing special, nothing different at all. Just a nice, clean 3D foam design with 3D foam underneath. I was so impressed with this. This stuff is great. And Cindy was so kind. She gave me a full sheet. I got enough of this stuff forever. Well, maybe not forever. Cindy is saying, I used my same file too. No changes. So people don't have to change things. You're right. If you have 3D files that you've used in the past that you want to use again, no changes to use this foam. No changes at all. And I think in some cases your customers are going to like this. Really, I really think so. I think you invest the $3.05, get some other supplies, bring the shipping up. Um, and that's the one thing I didn't compare with shipping, because they all have shipping. But yeah, get yourself some and run a test for yourself. Okay, so the other product that she got there uh, was a heat away. Let me get my stuff up here. Was this heat away stabilizer? It's just a woven mesh. And the idea is that you should be able to stitch on it. And then even with a household iron, you should be able to trim the excess because, who wants to iron this whole thing? Trim the excess and you should be able to iron it off. Okay. So I did snowmen. I did snowmen. This is your standard water soluble fiber like stabilizer that I stitched the snowman on. Cute, isn't he? So yeah, it's a freestanding lace snowman. I stitched him out. In fact, I stitched him 9 times. Um, I then trimmed away some excess, right? Ran it under the hot water, set it aside to dry, and he came out really good, don't you think? Yeah, well, we all know that this water soluble stuff works and it works great. Um, the idea behind the heat away is uh, not necessarily for freestanding lace, though it should work for that as well. Thank you, Jessie. Yes, Cindy, that is the Valine. Um, Cindy's asking what the fiber stabilizer is. It's called Belim. That's the brand name. There are others out there. They all do pretty much the same thing. They just melt away in water, warm water. I mean, they'll work in cold water too. It just takes a little longer. Um, so then again, and this is a Gunold product. This is called Thermo Glaze, or excuse me, no L's. Thermo Gaze. So I stitched it again. Yeah. And I trimmed around the excess like I did with the one in red. And I would show you how that looks, but I wound up using it for a test. And then I put it under my heat press. Now, the recommended temperature was like 360 degrees through 375. I think Cindy and Jesse are talking. That brand has a nice size and width. It does. Bellini is really good. So I put the Gunold thermal gaze under the heat press at 370. 370 for 20 seconds. And it did nothing. Frayed the edges a little bit more. And maybe that's how it's supposed to work. Maybe you're supposed to go through and brush off all these edges after it heats away. But I thought, did I not put it in for long enough? So I put it in there another, 370, another 20 seconds. And again, it's the same. And the only thing here now is I melted and flattened my stitches. Yeah. And this, the stuff in the holes here is still in the holes. I'm not happy with this stuff. And I know Cindy said she wasn't happy with it either. So here, I thought, okay, maybe the heat press was too much. So I took my other one, the one that I had trimmed around, and put it under my household iron on high. Okay? And I turned it upside down, to try to preserve some of the loft of the stitches, though I still lost some of the loft of the stitches. And again, my iron was on high. Granted, it does not, maybe it doesn't heat up to 370 degrees, but the stuff says you can use a household iron. But again, I got really, and this one doesn't even flake away. I must have been there with the iron on it, and I didn't. Ironing is like moving the iron back and forth. No, I was pressing. I was pressing. The iron was in one position over the top of the design. Design was upside down because I thought, maybe exposing the back would be better. But I still flattened my stitches some, and I got no results. Yeah. Now, one of the things that this stuff is supposed to be for is if you need a stabilizer, for something that really shouldn't get wet, and the example they give are velvets and corduroys. They also say you can use this as a topper. I wouldn't use it as a topper because it doesn't come away. Maybe underneath as a stabilizer, but for a light design. But then your corduroy and your velvets might already be heavy. But listen, if you need a true heat away stabilizer, I have one. It's a Madeira. Oh, let me go back to this for a second. We all know that our water soluble is pretty reasonably cost. You can get a 10-yard roll for about $20. The lady said it was great for patches. Great for patches. I'm not thinking so. Because you have all of this around your patches. Okay. Around the outside edge of your patches. Yeah, so not real happy with this. So yeah, the Valine, the water soluble stuff, you can get a 5-yard, 10-yard roll, 16 inches wide for about $20. The thermal gaze, the smallest you can get is a 10-inch by 110 yards. That's the smallest quantity you can get for $129. Aside from the fact that it really does not heat away, I don't know that I would use $129 worth 110 yards of this. But like I said, I do have something for you. And this I use for patches. This is a Madeira product. Did I forget to write what it was called? Hold on. Let me go back to Madeira. Madeira, USA. Oh, here it is. It's called, and you know, everything, EZ. That's the letter E, the letter Z, E, badge film. That's what it's called. Madeira EZ badge film. Um, by comparison, this stuff is really reasonably cost. I get the 100 micron versus the 30 micron. The 100 micron holds up really well. In fact, I did 100 patches this week using this stuff. And normally I use 2 layers, but my roll was getting a little low, so I thought, yeah, Cindy, that's exactly it. Cindy says, bottom line, it doesn't work. Not happy with it at all. But yeah, I usually use 2 layers of this stuff for my patches, but I was running low, so I went with just 1 layer, and it did a phenomenal job. By comparison, this is yeah, I'm reading from the backside. 19 inches, a 19-inch roll by 109 yards, the 100 micron, which is the thicker, heavier, $85 and change. Now, granted, some places are going to charge a little more, some are going to charge a little less, but by comparison, much more reasonable. So what did I do with this? I punched out, because that's all you have to do. I punched it out, and I'm punching, because this is like a plastic. So it's perforated now with the stitches, so you just need to just tear away the excess, which leaves only these little bits here, in these open areas, and of course in the freestanding lace part. And then I put it in the iron. Same temperature. And I use the household iron for this because I've used the household iron for it before. We have, I know this name. Is this Brian? Hello, Brian. He's wanting to know about the Philtech Badge Master. I haven't used it. What do you think of it, Brian? Tell us what you think. Oh, Aaron! Aaron! So sorry. Aaron, you're going to laugh, but you and Brian, your customers come up with some of the craziest things. And I get you two mixed up all the time. Anyways, so no, I haven't tried the Philtech. Aaron, let me know. Let me know what you think of it. So I use the household iron on this, just pressing on high. And yes, there's still some little bits here, but the big areas are clear. And again, this stuff is designed to protect those items that shouldn't get wet. You need to use a topper, but you don't need to. Um, oh, thank you, Erin. We'll talk. Barb says that she has used the Filtech forever. Forever is a long time, right? Where'd she go? 25 plus years. For me, that's forever. And obviously, if you've used it that long, it's a pretty decent product, right? And Aaron, so far, so good. He's going to send me a sample. That's so sweet. Thank you. The Micron, the EZ badge backing from Madeira is a heat away. I used, oh, Cindy, Badge Master. Yes, Badge Master is water soluble, but it's heavier. It's a heavier, as I understand it, it's a heavier piece that can stand up to a lot of stitching. But here's the other thing I liked about this. Let me go back to my blue snowman. Remember, he lost all his loft trying to press away this stuff. I think I kept the iron on him for maybe a minute, but he still relatively has his loft. He still has his dimension. He still has his detail, and he's soft. So yeah, I like if I need to use a heat away, which isn't very often. Um, for me, Madeira is my heat away of choice because it's so multi-purpose. Uh, Patches they punch right out. Um, Other thing, it's very supportive. It does a good job. So that's it. What do you think? I'm not that I'm any kind of expert, but not happy with the Gunold thermal gaze. Love my water soluble Veline. Love it, love it. If I need a heat away, I'll use the Madeira. Madeira. Oh, Barb's got something to say about Badge Master. Badge Master comes in 2 weights. All Stitch carries it. I like the heavy weight for patches. For freestanding lace, I have used both weights. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So yeah, Madeira is my heat away of choice. Are you talking about the fabric for the twill patches that I got from Cristal? Is that what you want to see? Those patches turned out amazing. Amazing. Um, yeah, next week is Thanksgiving week. Next week is day after the weekend. Okay, Cindy, yeah, I gotcha. I won't be here. I won't be here. Uh, Turkey. Granted, I'm not cooking, but it's that whole, it's a whole turkey weekend. Yeah. And that's it. Okay, so the next time, when is the next time? Not the 29th. How about the 6th? The 6th of December, we will do uh, product comparisons regarding twills. Twills. All right, so that'll be our next product comparisons, twills. So that's what we've got today. You guys all have an amazing, wonderful Thanksgiving. You're welcome, Diane. You guys have an awesome Thanksgiving. Make sure you bring your turkey to temperature. You don't want anybody getting turkey sick. uh, and have a great time. I'm going to sign off now. Let me go scroll over here. Bye.
Fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.